Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving into a market that, while you might not actively think about it every day, but it's absolutely foundational and surprisingly dynamic. We're talking about gyroscope inclinometers.
Mhm.
Those unsung heroes of precision, sensing tilt, orientation, movement, just forming the backbone of accuracy in, well, countless modern applications.
Indeed. And understanding the trajectory of this market, it's really not just about tracking figures. It's more about recognizing a crucial technology that enables so much of our advanced world.
Right.
These devices, they're at the heart of everything, needing precise positioning and motion sensing. Their growth really signals significant technological trends across industries globally.
And to help us navigate this fascinating, pretty technical landscape, we've taken a deep dive into the Global Gyroscope Inclinometer Market Outlook 2025-2033 report from Cognitive Market Research. Our mission, like always, is to cut through all that dense data, bring you the most important nuggets, the key insights, so you can walk away really understanding where this essential technology is heading. Let's start with the big picture then, the global perspective. This market is already substantial, generated nearly $1.3 billion back in 2021. That's $178.95 million, to be precise.
Pretty solid base to start from.
Exactly, but that's just the baseline. By 2025, it's projected to hit around $1.76 billion. That's $1,762.6 million. And then by 2033, the report anticipates it'll more than double from the 2021 figure, hitting an impressive $3.35 billion, or $303,475 million.
Wow.
Yeah, this isn't just steady expansion. This reflects a robust compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of just over 8.3%, 8.349% over that period.
You know, what's particularly striking about that consistent global rise, that 8.3% CAGR, it's what it signifies beyond just the numbers. For a market this size, it really points to sustained investment. Investment in industries where precision is just non-negotiable. Think advanced manufacturing, autonomous systems.
Critical infrastructure, too, I imagine.
Absolutely. Critical infrastructure. It tells us these fundamental precision instruments are increasingly integrated right into the very fabric of our technological progress. And not just in brand new applications, but also in refining existing ones.
That's a great point. And before we dive into the regional specifics, maybe you could give our listeners a quick sort of tangible refresher on what exactly makes these gyroscope inclinometers so foundational. Because, for an audience that knows their tech, it's more than just sensing tilt and movement.
Yeah.
What's the actual magic in that combination?
Yeah, absolutely. Good question. So when we talk about gyroscope inclinometers, we're really talking about an integrated solution. The gyroscope part, that tracks angular velocity, how fast something is rotating. Perfect for measuring dynamic motion, rotation. Think of a drone maybe stabilizing itself while it's flying.
Right, makes sense.
Then the inclinometer, that measures static tilt or inclination,
Yeah.
usually relative to Earth's gravity. So basically, it gives you an absolute level reading.
Oh, okay.
But what's truly powerful is putting them together. The inclinometer provides the long-term stability. It corrects for the drift that gyroscopes naturally have over time. So you end up with this robust drift-corrected orientation solution.
I see.
And that synergy, that combination, is just essential for applications where you need both dynamic movement and absolute level measured accurately at the same time.
Can you give us a couple of maybe vivid examples where that combined precision really makes a difference?
Sure, certainly. Picture maybe automated solar panel arrays.
Yeah.
They need to track the sun with incredible accuracy, like sub-degree accuracy, all day long. And they have to compensate for wind or maybe tiny shifts in the structure they're mounted on.
Okay, yeah.
Or think about robotic surgical tools. They need incredibly stable orientation feedback for really delicate procedures.
Wow.
Even in smart infrastructure, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
They're monitoring the minute deflections of bridges, maybe, or the stability of high-rise buildings in real time.
Yeah.
That's the kind of nuanced precision we're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so foundational, really, across so many critical sectors.
That truly clarifies it. Thanks. Now, this is where the picture gets really interesting, that regional deep dive. It reveals some fascinating differences. While the global growth is strong, the engines powering it are definitely shifting, and some surprising contenders are emerging. Let's start our global tour. We'll travel the globe now, looking at where the real action is happening, from the established markets to the emerging powerhouses. Let's kick off with Asia Pacific. It's undoubtedly standing out as the primary growth engine in this market right now. Back in 2021, the region's market was valued at over $510 million, $510.302 million, actually. Already substantial.
Yeah, quite large.
but the forecast shows it rising to over $705 million by 2025, and then soaring to an impressive $1.38 billion by 2033. That's 1,386.3 million. This reflects a really robust AGIGR of just over 8.8%, 8.812% outpacing the global average.
Yeah, the sheer scale and that rapid expansion in Asia-Pacific are remarkable.
Right.
And the report, it highlights specific drivers for this aggressive growth. We're seeing it heavily fueled by government initiatives, particularly in smart city development, think places like Singapore.
Right.
And also just the massive scale of new manufacturing automation projects across China, Southeast Asia. Precision tilt sensing is just becoming non-negotiable for modern robotics, automated logistics, even earthquake-resistant infrastructure design, all booming there.
It certainly is. And when we zoom in on individual countries within Asia Pacific, the numbers tell an even more compelling story. You've got established economies like China and Japan. They continue to be major players, each projected to exceed $300 million by 2033. China hitting $407 million, Japan $325 million, showing consistent growth around 8.4% CAGR each.
Solid numbers.
Very solid. But the real dynamism seems to be coming from markets like India, Singapore, and across Southeast Asia. India, for example, is hitting nearly a 10% CAGR, 9.713%, going from about $91.5 million in 2021 to almost $274 million by 2033.
That's substantial.
And Singapore is leading the pack with an impressive 10.5% growth, 10.501% CAGR, moving from $16 million to over $51 million.
India's nearly 10% CAGR is particularly striking there. The report points to its burgeoning infrastructure sector, massive railway expansions, port developments, new smart road networks.
Huge projects.
Exactly. Huge projects, coupled with a push for advanced manufacturing. Precision inclinometers are just critical for ensuring structural integrity, machine leveling, operational efficiency at scale in these massive projects.
And Singapore, that 10.5%.
Yeah, Singapore, with its high growth, is really a hub for high-tech manufacturing, defense, maritime industries, all demanding the utmost precision. And that collective growth you mentioned across Southeast Asia, with its almost 10% CAGR, 9.931%, that points to really widespread industrial modernization, leveraging these sensors for everything from construction to aerospace components, going from about $56 million to $166 million.
Okay, let's move away from that high-octane growth in Asia-Pacific. Let's turn our attention to North America. Now, it might not boast the highest percentage jumps, but its sheer market size means even steady expansion translates into massive value, driven by its deeply integrated industrial base. The market revenue here was nearly $370 million in 2021, $369.617 million, and it's projected to reach over $920 million by 2033, with a very solid CAGR of 7.73%.
Yeah, what stands out for North America isn't just the growth number itself, but its resilience in an already mature market. This sustained demand, it's likely driven by ongoing advancements, upgrades, sectors like aerospace, defense, heavy construction equipment. Precision is absolutely paramount there.
Right.
So it's maybe less about brand new adoption in, say, nascent industries and more about the continuous refinement and expansion of existing critical applications. Yeah. Especially with the big push towards automation in these established fields.
Makes sense. And digging into the North American leaders, the United States, as you'd expect, holds the largest share, projected to exceed $700 million by 2033. That's $706.5 million, growing at about 7.5% CAGR from $289 million in 2021.
The lion's share.
Definitely. But Canada also shows strong momentum, an 8.7% CAGR, actually 8.672%, set to pass $117 million by 2033, up from $43 million. And Mexico is also healthy, posting an 8.3% CAGR. Well, 8.257%, expanding to nearly $96 million from around $37 million over the period.
Okay.
The overall European market was just under $242 million in 2021, $241.722 million, and it's set to rise to over $605 million by 2033. That's a respectable CAGR of 7.8%, 7.843%.
The European landscape is quite varied, isn't it? That overall growth rate, it reflects a really diverse industrial base across the continent. Different nations specializing in different high-tech sectors. You've got automotive, robotics, renewable energy, specialized manufacturing.
A real mix.
Exactly. It's a mosaic of growth.
Yeah.
The report indicates significant demand from sectors embracing Industry 4.0 automation and advanced monitoring systems.
Indeed. And when we look at specific countries, France shows particularly strong momentum, a high 9.2% CAGR, 9.219%. Set to reach over $74 million by 2033, up from about $26.5 million.
Interesting.
Yeah. The UK and Germany, meanwhile, both show solid, consistent growth, around 7% CAGR each. The UK going from about $31.7 million to $73.6 million. Germany from $39 million to almost $92 million by 2033.
Steady players.
Right. But here's an interesting point. The rest of Europe category collectively records an impressive 9.3% CAGR, 9.348% actually, suggesting really widespread, robust adoption beyond just the major economies, growing from around $53 million to over $152 million.
That French growth, the high growth there, it can likely be attributed to its strong aerospace and defense industries. Plus, significant investments in high-speed rail, smart infrastructure, all demanding high-precision sensing.
Makes sense.
And that rest of Europe's impressive KGR, it really speaks to the broader technological advancement happening across smaller economies, potentially driven by specialized manufacturing, maybe agricultural tech, renewable energy projects that integrate inclinometers for optimal performance and safety.
Okay, fascinating stuff across Europe. Now let's shift our focus down to South America, a region demonstrating very healthy expansion in this market.
Right.
It generated just over $84 million in 2021, 84.411 million, and this is expected to grow significantly to nearly $245 million by 2033, 244.721 million, posting a very healthy CGR of 9.5%, 9.495%.
The robust growth in South America is particularly noteworthy. While general industrialization plays a role,
Yeah.
the report suggests a significant driver is the increasing precision needed in modern agriculture and mining across the continent. Think smart tractors navigating undulating terrain with auto steering, or automated drilling rigs ensuring stability and safety. These industries are rapidly adopting advanced sensors to boost efficiency and safety, and inclinometers are pretty central to that.
Absolutely. And within South America, Argentina stands out. One of the strongest outlooks, projected to grow to over $34 million by 2033, boasting a 10.3% CAGR, 10.288%, up from about $11 million.
Very strong.
Colombia's is similarly strong, growing to almost $21.6 million by 2033 with a 10.3% CAGR, 10.264%, up from just $7 million. And Brazil, the largest economy there, will see its market expand to nearly $78 million by 2033 with a solid 9.1% CAGR, 9.08%, up from about $28 million.
Okay, next up, Africa. This is emerging as one of the fastest growing regions in the Gyroscope Inclinometer Market.
Yeah, the numbers here are really something.
They are. Sales here were just over $24 million in 2021, $24.3 million, but they are projected to increase dramatically to over $87 million by 2033, $87.376 million, posting a truly remarkable CDR of nearly 11.9%, 11.876%. Wow. If we connect that to the bigger picture, such high growth rates in a rapidly developing continent like Africa are incredibly significant. This isn't just market expansion, it feels like a foundational shift.
Right.
The report points to substantial investments. Sectors like large-scale construction, mining, potentially emerging tech hubs. Here, precision sensing isn't just an upgrade, it's kind of enabling leapfrogging older technologies, allowing for more efficient, safer, technologically advanced development right from the get-go.
It's fantastic to see that kind of progress. Looking at specific countries, Nigeria is projected to grow to over $17 million by 2033, with an 11.5% CAGR, 11.532%, up from just under $5 million. South Africa also shows strong growth, moving to nearly $31 million by 2033, also an 11.5% CAGR, 11.53%, up from about $8.8 million, indicating broad-based development across the continent going from $10.5 million to over $39 million.
Really underscores that continent-wide momentum.
Definitely. Okay, finally, a brief look at the Middle East. This region shows more moderate growth compared to some of these other booming regions.
Okay.
The market here accounted for $48.6 million in 2021, growing to just over $103 million by 2033, $103.445 million, with a KGR of 6.0%, 6.08%. Saudi Arabia led this region, projected to reach over $37 million by 2033. That's $37.861 million with a 5.7% CAGR, up from $18 million.
Yeah, that more measured pace in the Middle East, it's an interesting contrast. The report suggests it might indicate a more mature market for these devices, at least in certain key sectors there. It's likely a reflection of perhaps a concentrated focus on specific industrial applications, like oil and gas exploration, maybe large-scale construction, infrastructure projects.
Things they've been doing for a while.
Exactly, things that have already significantly integrated these technologies. So the growth is sustained, sure, but maybe that initial big wave of adoption has already happened, leading to a different phase of market evolution there.
That makes sense. So what does this all mean for you, the listener, and, well, for the world at large? This deep dive into the global gyroscope inclinometer market outlook 2025-2033 really paints a very clear picture. We're seeing substantial worldwide expansion in this market, driven by a growing, really undeniable demand for precision across nearly every sector imaginable.
Pervasive.
We've identified those undeniable growth engines, Asia Pacific, South America, and Africa, clearly leading the percentage growth. And within those, we've pinpointed the markets that are truly leading the charge with exceptionally high growth. You've got India, Singapore, Southeast Asia, Argentina, Nigeria.
The real hotspots.
Exactly. Meanwhile, established regions like North America and Europe, they're continuing their steady, strong growth, demonstrating the enduring and expanding relevance of these critical devices, refining and automating their already advanced industries.
This raises an important question, I think, for all of us to consider. What does this widespread accelerating adoption of tilt sensing technology across such diverse economies, diverse industries, what does it imply for how we build, navigate, automate, innovate, in the coming decade?
Good question.
How will these foundational devices continue to shape our increasingly precise world? Not just in the obvious ways like robotics or drones, but maybe in less visible areas, like resource management, safety monitoring, even things like climate resilience. That push for accuracy, it's relentless. And these sensors, they're right at the forefront.
Exactly. It just goes to show how these seemingly niche technologies can drive massive global change. And it really underscores the importance of precision in our, well, ever-evolving technological landscape. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you'll continue to ponder the implications of these really fascinating market trends.